They woke up to a profound silence. It was a silence that felt heavier than any noise. No coffee brewing in the kitchen. No clinking of dishes. Just an empty house and a crisply folded letter resting on the kitchen table. My mom, Krissa, reached for it first, her hands trembling slightly. As she read the words, her expression shifted from confusion to a deep, gnawing pain. She dropped into a chair, her frame collapsing as if the weight of the world had finally hit her. You told me to grow up, so I did. You'll never hear from me again. Your daughter, the burden. She read the words out loud, her voice barely a whisper. The words hung in the air like a ghost. This had all started on a Tuesday. I was exhausted, and my eyes were burning from working. A 6-day stretch at the hospital. My feet felt numb and heavy as I dragged myself through the front door of our home in a quiet town in the Russian countryside. I pushed open my bedroom door and stopped dead in my tracks. My bed was completely gone. The comfortable mattress had been replaced by a cheap blow-up crib. My books had been neatly boxed up and my desk was dismantled and pushed into a corner. In its place stood Krissa, my Arshati cousin who was already deep into her pregnancy. She held my favorite hoodie in her hand. Like she owned it, a look of smug satisfaction on her face. My mom, Krissa, didn't even blink. And when I confronted her about it, she's family and you're 27, not a child, she said, her tone dismissive. I just stared at her, feeling like I didn't know the person standing in front of me. So I'm just a guest in my own home now? I asked, the words barely making it out of my mouth. She let out a long, exasperated sigh. Don't be dramatic, Kone, she said. That's what she always said when she didn't want to be the villain in the story. Krissa moved in that night, and her loud, unemployed boyfriend Malik followed 3 days later. Wessel waping on the porch, and his presence seemed to fill the entire house with a thick cloud of discomfort. My mom, Krissa, cooked for them, washed their clothes, and even offered her car to them like it was community property. I started working double shifts, just to avoid them. I would come home from the hospital and find my food missing from the fridge, my shampoo empty, and all my clean towels used. One night I walked in on Krissa wearing my gold necklace, the one my dad gave me when I graduated. She said it was just lying there and told me to relax. I didn't scream or start a fight. I simply smiled, nodded, and began quietly packing. I had been saving to move out for months, ever since I noticed a shift in my family's behavior. A little bit here, a little bit there. No one noticed when I stopped contributing to groceries. No one asked when I transferred the electric bill out of my name. I waited for the final straw. The final straw came the day Malik crashed my mom's car while he was completely high. She paid for the repairs with my emergency fund, the money I had worked so hard to save. That was it. The last bit of loyalty I had for them just snapped. It wasn't the betrayal that hurt so much, it was the indifference. The fact that they didn't see my sacrifice or my hard work. So I played along with their little game. I told my mom, Krissa, I would apply for a better job out of town. I told Krissa I could help her with the baby shower planning. I even told Malik I would talk to a friend of mine about a music studio hookup for him. I smiled. Through all of it, a silent and steady ghost in my own home. The night before I left, I cooked dinner, my mom's favorite chicken, Kiev. I set the table, washed the dishes, and gave her a kiss on her cheek. She called me her sweet boy and said she was glad I'd grown out of my selfish phase. I just nodded and locked my bedroom door for the last time. I left at exactly 5:42 a.m. I took only what mattered to me: my passport, my degree, my bank books, and my savings. I left behind everything else, even the gold necklace. I wanted her to look at that necklace and remember me. The letter I left behind was short, cold, and entirely necessary. You said I was an adult, so I acted like one, it read. You made space for everyone but me, so I found space elsewhere. I didn't leave an address. I didn't owe them that. I moved into a small studio apartment near the hospital. It was tiny, quiet, and completely mine. There was no shouting, no judgment, and no one stealing my soap. I painted the walls a calm white, bought a new necklace for myself, and started sleeping better than I ever had before. Weeks passed before my mom, Krissa, texted me. "When are you coming home?" she asked. I didn't reply. Krissa messaged me next. "Can you drop some stuff off from your room?" She thought I still lived in pieces. Then came the phone calls. "I didn't mean it like that," my mom, Krissa, would say. "You know this is still your home. You're being dramatic again." The irony was not lost on me, not Malik. Got arrested for weed possession and resisting arrest. Krissa moved back in with her mom after a fight about rent and bills. And my mom, Krissa, well, she finally had all the space she had cleared for them, just not the son, who used to fill it with his presence. I don't miss the house. I miss what it used to mean. Before she started calling me ungrateful, before every kindness I gave was taken as a weakness. I grew up, like she said, just not in the way she expected me to. Now she calls from the silence and I answer with distance. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge is absence. A total, unwavering, permanent absence.